Hello students, this is your economics teacher INR. I hope you are well and utilizing the time wisely.
In the previous class, you learned about chapter 4 cost and revenue analysis. Today, you are going to learn about chapter 5 market structure and pricing. First, we will discuss meaning of market, classification of market, equilibrium condition for a firm and perfect competition. Students, watch this video very carefully till the end. Fine, let us enter into the chapter 5 market structure and pricing. First, we will discuss introduction and the meaning of market. First, introduction. Every commodity or service that is exchanged has two sides, the supply side and the demand side. The supply side contains information on the number of sellers, the nature and the quantum of the product produced and bought to the market for sale. The demand side contains information on the number of buyers entering the market for buying the product. Hence, the study of market and market structure forms an important feature of microeconomics. First, we will discuss meaning of markets. Market generally means a place or a geographical area where buyers with money and seller with their goods meet to exchange goods for money. In economics, market refers to a group of buyers and sellers who involves in the transactions of commodities and services. Here, in the ordinary sense, the word market refers to a physical place where commodities and services are bought and sold. In economics, the term market refers to a system of exchange between the buyers and the sellers of a commodity. Besides direct exchange, there are exchanges that are carried out through correspondence, telephones, online, email, etc. Next, characteristics of a market. First, existence of buyers and seller of the commodity. Second, the establishment of contact between the buyers and sellers. Distance is of no consideration if buyers and seller would contact each other through the available communication system like telephone, agents, letter correspondence and internet. Third, buyers and seller deal with the same commodity or variety. Since the market in economics is identified on the base of the commodity, similarly of the product is very essential. Fourth, there should be a price for the commodity bought and sold in the market. Classification of market. There are four classifications of market. First, market according to area or on the base of area. Second, market according to time or on the base of time. Third, on the base of quantity of a commodity. Fourth, market according to competition. First, market according to area. The market is classified not only on a geographical spread but also on the nature of the goods exchanged. First, local market. A local market for a product exists when buyers and sellers of a commodity carry on the business in a particular locality or villages or area where the demand and supply conditions are influenced by local conditions only. Here, local market arises when product or services are sold and bought in the place of their production. In such markets, the product exchanged are mostly perishable and semi-durable in nature, for example, vegetables, fruits, etc. Second, provincial markets. Provincial market arises when product or services are sold and bought in a restricted circle, for example, provincial newspaper. Third, national market. When commodities are demanded and supplied throughout the country, there is national market. Here, national market arises when products and services are sold and bought throughout the country. For example, nationwide market for tea, coffee, cement, electrical goods, some printed books, etc. Fourth, international market. When demand and supply conditions are influenced at the global level or international level, we have international market. Here, international market arises when products and services are sold and bought at the world level, for example, petrol, gold, etc. Second, on the base of time or market according to time. Marshall classified market based on the time element. In economics, time does not mean clock time. It means only the division of time based on extent of adjustability of supply of a commodity for a given change in its demand. The time here refers to the nature of the factors such as fixed factors and variable factors used in the production process and how the supply of product meets with varying demand situation in the determinations of price of the product. So first, very short period or market period. It occurs when with the available time the quantum supplied of a product cannot be increased or decreased. Here the supply curve is vertical, it is inelastic. In the market, the demand force is more active than the supply force in the determinations of the price. In short, very short period or market period refers to the types of competitive markets in which the supply of commodities cannot be changed at all. So in a very short period, the market supply is perfectly inelastic. The price of the commodity depends on the demand for the product alone. The perishable commodities like flowers are the best examples. Second, short period market. It occurs when the quantum supplied of a product can be increased or decreased to some extent. Here the supply curve is a little more elastic. In this period, some factors continue to be fixed and they work a little more intensively to meet an increased demand. In short period refers to that period in which supply can be adjusted to a limited extent by varying the variable factors alone. The short period supply curve is relatively elastic. The short period price is determined by the interaction of the short run supply and demand curve. Third, long period market. It occurs when the quantum supplied of a product can be increased or decreased to a larger extent. Here the supply curve is very much elastic. Thus, to meet an increase in demand, the quantum of all the factors become variable. There are no fixed factors here. Therefore, there is possibility for larger changes in supply. The price of the product cannot be as high as in the case of short run. In short, long period is the time period during which supply conditions are fully able to meet the new demand conditions. In the long run, all, particularly both fixed and variable factors, are variable. The supply curve in the long run is perfectly elastic. Therefore, it is the demand that influences price in the long period. Last, very long period market or secular period market. It occurs when the entire economy undergoes a newer technologies are introduced and most modern products are produced. Several newer methods of production are adopted in the production process with improvements taking place in technology. For example, the entry of pen drive has driven out compact disc CD as CD has replaced floppies with once replaced tape castles. Third, market according to quantity of the commodity or on the basis of quantity of the commodity. First, wholesale market is for bulk selling or buying of goods. The price is likely to be low compared to retail market. Second, retail market is for selling or buying of commodities in small quantities like clothing, vegetables, etc. Last, on the basis of competition or market according to competition. These markets are classified according to the number of sellers in the market and the nature of the commodity. The classifications of market according to competition is as follows. First, perfect competition market. Second, imperfect competition markets, which comprises monopoly market, monopolistic competition market, duopoly market, oligopoly market, etc. Firm and industry. Firm. A firm refers to a single production unit in an industry producing a large or a small quantum of a commodity or services and selling it at the price in the market. It is main objectives is to earn a profit. There may be other objectives as described by managerial and behavioral theories of the firm. Industry. An industry refers to a group of firms producing the same product or service in an economy. For example, a group of firms producing cement is called a cement industry. Thirdly, you are going to learn about equilibrium conditions for a firm. Equilibrium of the firm means that firm reaches the maximum profit. Now there are two approaches. TC is equal to TR. TC means total cost, TR means total revenue. For calculating the maximum profit, first total curve approaches and it marginal curve approaches. MC is equal to MR. MC means marginal cost, MR is equal to marginal revenue. In the TR minus TC approach, profit is obtained by a firm through the differences between the TC and the TR. Equilibrium is obtained at the point where maximum differences between the TC and the TR occurs. This TC minus TR method is not generally adopted in the calculation of maximum profit. Hence, to calculate profit or loss, economists resort to the MC is equal to MR approach. A shaded area denote profit. Profit is maximum when Q is equal to 5. Next, marginal curve approach. In this approach, the following two conditions are to be verified to obtain the equilibrium of the firm. First, MC is equal to MR. Look at the following hypothetical situation. A rational seller will not be in equilibrium at output level 1. Though MC is equal to MR at that point, since continuing production, his profit increases. When he produces an output beyond 1 unit till he reaches 5 units, his MC less than MR, it is advantageous for the producer to continue his production. Again, he will not be in equilibrium beyond 5 units of Q when his MC greater than MR, implying that the seller incurs loss. Therefore, he is said to be in equilibrium, that is at the point of maximum profit when his MC is equal to MR. Hence, MC is equal to MR is the first condition for the equilibrium. Second, MC cuts MR curve from below. A firm under perfect competition faces a horizontal price line. A firm under imperfect competition focus declining price line. The MC is U-shaped and it cuts MR at 2 points, both from above and also from below, as shown in diagram. Only at point B the equilibrium condition is fulfilled. Thus, for equilibrium under all market situation, the two conditions wise MC is equal to MR and MC cuts MR from below. Market structure. Market structure can be classified into two categories: perfect competition and imperfect competition. Imperfect competition can be divided into 6 types. First, monopoly, monopolistic competition, duopoly, oligopoly, discriminating monopoly, and bilateral monopoly. Last, you are going to learn about perfect competition. It is an ideal but imaginary market. 100% perfect competition cannot be seen. Perfect competition market is that type of market in which the number of buyers and sellers is very large. All are engaged in buying and selling a homogeneous product at a uniform price without any artificial restriction and possessing perfect knowledge of the market at a time. In short, perfect competition is a market situation where there are infinite number of sellers that no one is big enough to have any appreciable influence over market price. According to John Robinson, perfect competition prevails when the demand for the output of each producer is perfectly elastic. Features of the perfect competition. First, large number of buyers and sellers. A large number of buyers implies that each individual buyers buy a very small quantum of a product as compared to that found in the market. This means that he has no power to fix the price of the product. He is only a price taker and not a price maker. The term large number of sellers implies that share of each individual seller is very small quantum of a product. This means that he has no power to fix the price of the product. Like the buyers, the sellers also is only a price taker and not a price maker. In short, there are a large number of buyer and seller in a perfect competition market that neither a single buyer nor a single seller can influence the price. The price is determined by market forces, namely the demand for and supply of the product. There will be a uniform price in the market. Sellers accept this price and adjust the quantity produced to maximize their profit. Thus, the seller is the perfect competitive market or price takers and quantity adjusters. Second, homogeneous product and uniform price. The product is sold at bought in homogeneous in nature, in the sense that the units of the product are perfectly substitutes. Therefore, a uniform price prevails in the market. In short, the product produced by all the firm in the perfectly competitive markets must be homogeneous and identical in all respect, that is, the product in the market are the same in quantity, size, taste, etc. The product of different firms are perfect substitutes and the cross elasticity is infinite. Third, free entry and exist. In the short run, it is possible for the very efficient producer producing the product at a very low cost to earn supernormal profit. Attracted by such a profit, new firms enter into the industry. When large number of firms enter, the supply would increase, resulting in lower price. An inefficient producer who is unable to bring down the cost incur loss, disturbed by the loss. The existing loss incurring a firm quite the market. If it happens, supply will then decrease, price will go up. Existing firm would earn more profit. In short, there must be a complete freedom for the entry of new firms or the exit of the existing firm from the industry. When the existing firm are earning supernormal profit, new firms enter into the market when there is loss in the industry. Some firms leave the industry. The free entry and free exit are possible only in the long run. That is because the size of the plant cannot be changed in the short run. Fourth, absence of transport cost. In a perfectly competitive market, it is assumed that there are no transport costs. Under perfect competition, a commodity is sold at a uniform price throughout the market. If transport cost is incurred, the firms nearer to the market will charge a low price than the firms far away. Hence, it is assumed that there is no transport cost. In short, the prevalence of the uniform price is also due to the absence of the transport cost. Next, perfect mobility of factors of production. The prevalence of the uniform price is also due to the perfect mobility of the factors of production, as they enjoy perfect freedom to move from one places to another, and from one occupation to another, the price get adjusted. In short, the factors of production should be free to move from one use to another use, or from one industry to another industry easily to get better remuneration. The assumptions of perfect mobility of factors is essential to fulfill the first condition, namely large number of producers in the market. Next, perfect knowledge about market conditions. Both buyer and seller are fully aware of the current price in the market. Therefore, the buyers will not offer high price and the seller will not accept a price less than the one prevailing price in the market. In short, all buyer and seller have a through knowledge of the quality of the product, prevailing price, etc. Last, no government intervention or absence of government or artificial restriction or collusions. There are no government control or restriction on supply, pricing, etc. There is also no collusion among buyer and sellers. The price in the perfect competitive market is free to change in response to changes in demand and supply conditions. In short, there is no government regulation on supply of raw material and in the determinations of prices, etc. Perfect competition forms equilibrium in the short run. Under perfect competition, the market price is determined by the market forces, namely the demand for and the supply of the product. Hence, there is uniform price in the market and all the units of the output are sold at the same price. As a result, the average revenue is perfectly elastic. The average revenue curve is horizontally parallel to the x-axis. Since the average revenue is constant, marginal revenue is also constant and coincide with the average revenue. AR curve of a firm represents the demand curve for the product produced by that firm. Here, in the short run, at least a few factors of production are fixed. The firms under perfect competition take place. The price ₹10 from the industry and start adjusting their quantities produced. This diagram consists of 3 panels. The equilibrium of an industry is explained in the first panel. The demand and supply forces of all the firms interact and the price is fixed as ₹10. The equilibrium of an industry is obtained at 50 units of output. When the average revenue of the firm is greater than its average cost, the firm is earning supernormal profit. In figure 5.3, output is measured along the x-axis and price, revenue and cost along the y-axis. 10 is the prevailing price in the market. 10L is the demand curve or average and marginal revenue curve. AC and MC are the short run average and marginal cost curve. The firm is in equilibrium at point E1, where MC is equal to MR and MC curve cuts MR curve from below at the point of equilibrium. Therefore, the firm will be producing 50 level of output. At the 50 level of output, ME1 is the average revenue, 50B the average cost. The total profits earned by the firm will be equal to BE1 multiplied by 50 or 8B, that is the total output. Thus the total profit will be equal to the area 8BE1 10 is the supernormal profit earned by the firm. In the second part of the diagram, AC curve is lower than the price line. The equilibrium condition is achieved where MC is equal to MR. Its equilibrium quantity sold is 50. When the prevailing price is rupees 10, it experiences supernormal profit. AC is equal to 8 and AR is equal to rupees 10. Its total revenue is 50 into 10 is equal to 500. Its total cost is 50 into 8 is equal to 400. Therefore, its total profit is 500 minus 400 is equal to 100. In the third part of the diagram, firm's cost curve is above the price line. The equilibrium condition is achieved at a point where MR is equal to MC. Its quantity sold is 50 with the prevailing price. It experienced losses AC greater than AR. Its total revenue is 50 into 10 is equal to 500. Its total cost is 50 into 12 is equal to 600. Therefore, its total loss is 600 minus 50 is equal to 100. As profit prevails in the market, new firms will enter into the industry, thus increasing the supply of the product. Thus means a decline in the price of the product and increase the cost of production. Thus the abnormal profit will be whipped out, loss will be incurred. When loss prevails in the market, the existing loss making firm will exist to the industry, thus decreasing the supply of the product. This means a rise in the price of the product and a reduction in the cost of production, so the loss will vanish. Profit will emerge. Consequent upon the entry and exit of new firm into the industry, firms always earn normal profit in the long run as shown in diagram. Perfect competition, firms equilibrium in the long run or normal profit. In the long run, all factors are variable. The firm can increase their output by increasing the number and the plant size of the firm. Moreover, new firms can enter into the industry and the existing firm can leave the industry. As a result, all the existing firm will earn only normal profit in the long run. If the existing firm earns supernormal profit, the new firms will enter into the industry to compete with the existing firm. As a result, the output produced will increase. When the total output increases, the demand for factors of production will increase, leading to increase in prices of the factors. This will result in increasing average cost. On the other side, when the output produced increases, the supply of the product increases. The demand remaining the same, when the supply of the product increases, the price of the product comes down. Hence, the average revenue will come down. A fall in average revenue and a rise in the average cost will continue till both become equal. AR is equal to AC. Thus, all the perfectly competitive firm will earn normal profit in the long run. In figure 5.4 represents long run equilibrium of the firm under perfect competition. The firm is in equilibrium at point E, where LMC is equal to MR is equal to AR is equal to LAC. The long run equilibrium output is 500. The firm is earning just the normal profit. The equilibrium price is 8. If the price rises above 8, the firm will earn abnormal profit, which will attract new firms into the industry. If the price is less than 8, there will be a loss and the tendency will be to exist. So in the long run equilibrium, 8 will be the price and marginal cost will be equal to average cost and average revenue. Thus the firm in the long run will earn only normal profit. Competitive firm are in the equilibrium at the minimum point of LAC curve. Operating at the minimum point of LAC curve signifies that the firm is of optimum size, that is producing output at the lowest possible average cost. Here the LAC curve is an envelope curve as it contains a few average cost curves. It is a flatter U-shaped one. It is also known as a planning curve, First, the firms will earn only normal profit. Secondly, all the firms in the market are in equilibrium. This means that there should neither be a tendency for the new firms to enter into the industry nor for any of the existing firms to exist from the industry. Long run supply curve is explained to determine the long run price after an increase in demand. The effects of the increase in demand in the short run is explained by the movement from point A to point B. The price increases from 8 to 13 and the quantity increases from 600 to 800 units. Economic profits of the firm is positive. Therefore, new firms enter into the market. In the long run, new firms entry will continue until the price drops to rupees 11 and the quantity is 1200 units. The new long run equilibrium is shown by point C, where the new demand curve intersects supply curve. At this price level, rupees 11 and quantity 1200 units due to diminishing returns. It is very difficult to increase output in the short run. As a result, the price will increase to cover these higher cost of production. New firms will enter into the market. The price gradually drops to the point rupees 11 at which each firm makes zero economic profits. A firm under perfect competition, even in the long run, is a price taker, not a price maker. It takes the price of the product from the industry and it superimposes its cost curves on the revenue curves. Long run equilibrium of the firm is illustrated in the diagram. Under perfect competition, long run equilibrium is only at a minimum point of LAC at point E. LMC is equal to MR is equal to AR is equal to LAC. In the above diagram, 5.4 average cost is equal to average revenue. The equilibrium of the firm finally rests at point E, where the price is 8 and output is 500. At this point, the profit of the firm is only normal. Thus, condition for long run equilibrium of the firm is price is equal to AR is equal to MR is equal to minimum AC. At the equilibrium point, the SAC greater than LAC, hence long run equilibrium price is lower than short run equilibrium price. Long run equilibrium quantity is larger than short run equilibrium quantity. That's all for today. We will continue in the next class. Finish the assignment by clicking the link below.